Yeah, so I developed BDD in college, and I didn't know that's what it was. I just knew that one day I looked down and saw my thighs and had never really seen them in that way before, and they looked really big and large, unnaturally so to me. And so I started running 4 miles a day to try to sculpt my thighs into the way that my body dysmorphic disorder wanted them to be. And so I ended up doing a lot of restricting and a lot of compulsive exercising to be able to achieve my BDD's goals. And I always talk about that my BDD was like a really slick salesman. It would whisper in my ear that, if we could just be the way that we should be, if we could just look exactly like this image in my mind, then we would be happy, and it would be lasting happiness. And so if I would just do these things, I could get there. I could be totally happy. And I totally bought it, hook, line, and sinker. And so I became a compulsive runner. I restricted, and of course started losing a lot of weight, not because I thought I was overweight, but because my BDD didn't like the way my thighs looked. But realized I had a problem and tried to go get help at the college counseling center because I knew I had an eating problem. And because I didn't meet the criteria for anorexia nervosa, they turned me away. So we don't have this. And so I didn't know what I had. I knew I had a problem, but I didn't know what it was or what to do about it. And so I just was untreated with the BDD, and it lasted all the way through college. And I missed a lot of college because of it. And I missed the opportunity for relationships and for friendships and for activities because I was so caught up in trying to achieve this elusive goal that if I could just look this particular way, that I would be happy. And this lasted all the way through college and did not resolve really until I left college and got into the work world, and it just sort of disappeared on its own, but was still there. I would still buy clothing that would conceal how my BDD, the parts of myself that my BDD didn't like. And I didn't realize, it took another 20 years before I realized what was going on. I became an OCD therapist, and I also was learning how to treat body dysmorphic disorder. And I'd had several clients with body dysmorphic disorder. I'd read books about BDD, I'd taken training about BDD, and I think this just shows the nature of the disorder. I probably had known about BDD for 4 years from a clinical perspective, and didn't realize that that's what I had until I sat down on the floor one day to read the treatment manual that Sabina Wilhelm and Gail Steketee and Catherine Phillips had published, and they have a whole chapter in there about weight, shape, and muscularity. And I read the chapter and I'm like, oh my God, I have BDD. And that was like 4 years ago. And it was at that point I realized everything that happened in college made sense. Sorry. It was so hard because all of a sudden everything that I had experienced, all that suffering and pain from 20 years ago, it made sense. Because I had been trying to achieve changing how I looked. And I didn't think that it was a disorder. It never occurred to me that if there was anything wrong from a mental perspective, because I believed it. It wasn't that I thought that when I was learning about BDD, it wasn't that I thought that I was reading about me, because to me I was defective. And so it wasn't until I read specific examples of the types of compulsive behaviors that I participated in that I realized, wow, this is me. This is what I was doing. And so that was a huge light bulb moment for me that, oh my gosh, I have BDD. And the reason I didn't realize I had BDD was as a result of the disorder, because people with BDD, we believe the disorder. To us, it seems like it's actually a real defect, not a disorder of appearance, but that's part of the disorder.